So to start the notes for today, this is again the algebra functions. We're going to review what we talked about in the last notes, and that was adding two functions to create a new function. So what I've got is a function f and a function g, and I want to add those together. So if I graphed this function, I could use a series of input values. And when I put in that value, I would get out some value. So if I put -2 in, I get -4. If I put -1 in, I get -2, 0, 2, and 4. So if I graph this one, it looks something like this. Notice that there is no stipulation on the input values. I'm putting in negative numbers, 0, and positive numbers. So I would say the domain on this one is -infinity to infinity. See how the graph keeps going as I move left to right? There's no place where it stops. Okay, let's graph this one. If I do an input-output table with the same values, I would get 1, 2, 3, 0, -1. So it looks something like this. But whenever I add them, the f function plus the g function, I create a new function. So I'm going to do the same input values, but I'm going to add the outputs from f and g. So at -2, I would add -4 plus -1, which is -5. I'd add -2 and 0, 0 and 1, 2 and 2, and 4 and 3. So this graph is going to look something like this. At -1, I'm at -2. At 0, I'm at 1. At 1, I'm at 4. And so the graph looks something like this. If we added these two functions algebraically, if I added the f function plus the g function, I would get this function. And we can see how that's actually the graph that we have here. It begins at 1 and it goes up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. So we've created the new function by adding two old functions. In the next video, we're going to talk about what happens when we multiply.